Tonight on News 22.
CNN, former presidents and Secretary Clinton targeted by potential bombs.
NMSU's theater department is rushing to make the costumes for the Christmas season play.
And Jeffrey Hernandez shows you some out-of-the-ordinary fun from this weekend's Country Music Festival.
All that and more on News 22 Wednesday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Garcia Moreno.
And I'm Amanda Adame. There's cleanup going on all around the Mesilla Valley after last night's heavy rain.
For much of yesterday, the Organ Mountains were hidden with storm clouds. Cooler temperatures moved in and actually felt like fall. The rain fell steadily. It rained 3 inches in Las Cruces, not anywhere near enough to make up for the lack of rain this year, but enough to make farmers hopeful it will keep coming. The storm cleared out by the end of the day and the temperatures started to rise.
You know, it was just yesterday, but I'm missing the rain already.
I know, I really enjoyed it. Jackie's next with our first look at weather.
All right, thanks, girls. Well, today was definitely drier than it was yesterday. Right now, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, temperature at 65 degrees, winds coming from the southwest at 10 miles per hour, humidity pretty high, 74%, our dew point at 53 degrees, and a barometer at 30.8 inches. Now, today, we hit a high of 71 degrees, 5 degrees below our average of 76 after a chilly overnight low of 50 degrees. Now, taking a look at record temperatures back in 2003, we did break a record temperature. That record temperature in 2003 was 70. And in 2008, we barely missed that record temperature by 1 degree. Now, we didn't have any rain today, but yesterday our rainfall did rise up to 5.53 inches. That's all I have for your current conditions. I'll be back later with your national forecast, but for right now, back to the girls at the desk.
A number of suspected explosive packages addressed to former President Obama, Hillary Clinton, and a Trump critic have been intercepted within the last few days.
A law enforcement officer says the devices appear to be crude but functional. Natasha Chen explains how each of them were discovered.
Responding officers identified a device that appeared to be a live explosive device.
A number of suspicious packages sent to high-profile targets have sparked fears of a potential coordinated attack. Authorities say improvised explosive devices addressed to former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and former Attorney General Eric Holder have been intercepted. Also on Wednesday, a package with an explosive device and white powder arrived at the mailroom of the Time Warner Center building, which houses CNN's New York bureau.
What we saw here today was an effort to terrorize. This clearly is an act of terror, attempting to undermine our free press and leaders of this country through acts of violence.
That package was addressed to former CIA Director John Brennan. A similar device was also sent to the home of billionaire investor and major Democratic donor George Soros earlier this week. President Trump has been monitoring the developments from the White House with his top aides.
Acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America.
A law enforcement official says that all of the devices appear to be constructed similarly. At least one of them contained projectiles with shards of glass. The source says the devices were functional.
We've seen this before, and we've seen worse, and we will not be intimidated, and we will bring these perpetrators to justice.
In Washington, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
A runaway prisoner is behind bars again. 40-year-old Ralph Miera escaped custody shortly after midnight on October 24th. It's believed he stole a pickup and drove it to El Paso. Miera was being transported from Riverside, California to Pueblo County in Colorado. Miera gained control of the transport officer's weapons and forced the other officer to drive. The man was located shortly after 10 a.m. Wednesday in El Paso, Texas. Miera was being held on a warrant for auto theft, burglary, and contempt of court. A Las Cruces man is facing 9 years in prison for holding a woman against her will in 2017. 58-year-old Ruben Gonzalez was convicted of a second-degree kidnapping. He must also complete supervised probation. Gonzalez kidnapped a 72-year-old woman who lived in his neighborhood. Gonzalez was also accused of raping her, and the jury cleared him of the third-degree sexual penetration charge. The woman says she now feels unsafe in her neighborhood, where she has lived for over 57 years.
There are two major projects underway in downtown Las Cruces. They are both behind schedule but should be finished by January. The Amador project is about 97% complete and should be finished by Thanksgiving. The $6.5 million project includes three components: a large entertainment complex that includes 4 restaurants and bars, plus a courtyard that can be used for concerts. Amador Hospitality will operate the entertainment complex depending on how long it takes to hire staff. New Mexico State University has a new interim provost. President John Flores has selected April Mason for the job. Mason served as senior vice president and provost at Kansas State University from 2010 to 2018. She oversaw academic standards. Mason earned a doctorate degree in nutrition and her master's degree in botany from Purdue University. She'll start as provost November 1st and serve until the end of the academic year.
We've all gone to plays on campus and talked about how good the acting, music, and costumes are, but many don't realize how much time, money, and manpower go into those costumes.
Here at NMSU, the costume department, they're lacking those 3 critical things for the upcoming play, with a new issue also knocking at the door.
Costumes here.
Deborah Brunson has been working in costume design all her life. She's been here at NMSU for 32 years. Through the years, she has mastered the process of costume design.
So I started working in a costume shop at college as a freshman, and I've basically never left.
When it comes to making the costumes, it's completely student-based. But some students haven't mastered it like Deborah has.
And the thing about it is our labor is all student labor. You're definitely teaching people things as they are doing them.
What show are you doing anyway?
Right now, they're preparing for the Christmas play. It's called Inspecting Carol, and it's a challenge.
On a play like Inspecting Carol, which Nicole is directing, it's a play that was what they call devised.
And making all of the costumes takes time and people, and Deborah could use some help.
The labor to do all of these shows comes from students doing either 2 or 3 hours a week. That's it.
A busy high school festival over the weekend put production on hold, and now she's playing catch-up.
For Inspecting Carol, we are building some things, we are buying some things, we are pulling some things from our existing stock.
Deborah, the shop manager, and their students have created dozens of costumes, including this one, for Inspecting Carol. But their issue is ensuring to keep the comedical timing of the play while the actors get out of these elaborate costumes. But all she can do is be flexible and try to be prepared. That's why whenever you... If you want to see her costumes in action, opening night for Inspecting Carol will be on November 14th at 6 p.m. and will run till December 2nd. Stay tuned, Jackie will be back with your national forecast.
And later, can the Country Music Festival be any more fun? Try playing horseshoe. More on that when News 22 continues.
Join KRWG Public Media as we partner with KOAT Action 7 News to present a gubernatorial debate between congressional representatives Michelle Lujan Grisham and Steve Pierce. The candidates will answer questions on a variety of important issues affecting New Mexico. Join us on KRWG Public Media for this election 2018 special, Thursday night, October 25th at 7, with an encore Saturday night, October 27th at 5. KRWG Public Media would like to thank the Border Artists and Cutter Gallery for the benefit show What We Love. A portion of proceeds from art sold at the show will help your public media organization. The art will be on display through November 3rd at the Cutter Gallery at the corner of El Paseo and University in Las Cruces. What We Love, benefiting KRWG Public Media.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday,
where news matters.
Country music artists are on the road again after spending the weekend in town for the Las Cruces Country Music Festival.
But as News 22's Jeffrey Hernandez found, some attendees were there for something other than music. Take a look.
The Las Cruces Country Music Festival celebrated its 4th year this past weekend, and despite some less than favorable weather, people were still out having a great time.
This is our first time here since it started on Friday, but I guess the weather kept people out, but we're having a good time.
The city wanted to make sure there was plenty to do for everybody, so they organized a horseshoe tournament. they worked with the Iron Legacy Horseshoe Club.
And I'm here at the Country Music Festival. We're throwing some shoes.
Ralph Ortiz and his nephew James were just one of the many teams competing in the tournament. They say a lot of people in Las Cruces enjoy the game.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few. There's 3 or 4 groups that we all get together maybe once a month and kind of hang out and play.
The tournament organizers belong to the Iron Legacy Horseshoe Club. Ryan Schwartz-Beatty says the city is moving towards creating regulation courts for real competitive play.
I'm actually working on having a city league. It's called sanctioned tournaments, and it's amateurs and professionals that throw. You can be nationally ranked, and once you're sanctioned, a lot of the tournaments are on clay. We would have to change the pits here at the Mershite pits to clay to have them sanctioned.
Until then, horseshoe players in Las Cruces continue traveling to events around the nation, and Ryan hopes the sport can catch on here in the Mesilla Valley.
Yeah, if I can get some sanctioned tournaments down here, we get youth and cadets involved, especially since the bowling alley just shut down. It's really big on the East Coast, and I'm trying to bring it down here.
Jeffrey Hernandez, News 22.
It is almost the spookiest time of the year, and NMSU has a few tips to make the Halloween fun and safe. Children should never talk to strangers. Parents should take a look at their children's candy before they eat it. Make sure costumes or decorations do not come in contact with open flames. Find a place to meet in case of emergencies. Talk with your children about who they should talk to if they get lost. Look both ways before you cross the road. Motorists should be on the lookout for more pedestrians.
After Halloween, it's time to set the clock back. The Museum of Nature and Science will have an event next weekend all about daylight saving time. Saturday Family Science Daylight Saving Time at 11:45, Saturday, November 3rd. This program is free and open to the public. Sunday, November 4th, daylight saving times ends at 2 a.m. They'll discuss why we set our clocks differently for the summer and learn how to use the sun to measure time and build your own personal pocket sundial. Saturday Family Science is offered every month. Childhood obesity has long been a problem in the United States. Now new research from the Robert Wood Johnson
Foundation reveals new state-by-state differences and just how serious the problem has become. Andrea Vasquez has more in today's Health Minute.
As health officials struggle to curb a rising obesity problem in adults across the country, childhood obesity rates continue to be a major problem as well. According from a new study from 2016 to 2017, 15.8% of children between the ages of 10 and 17 were considered obese. Just 8 states had a child obesity rate lower than the national average. Mississippi reported the highest rate with just over 26% of their children considered obese. Utah had the lowest rate with 8.7%. For researchers, North Dakota stood out in a good way. Its childhood obesity rate dropped more than 3 percentage points in a 2-year period. Being obese when you're young can lead to poor lifestyle habits in adulthood. Obesity-related diseases are also one of the reasons overall life expectancy in the U.S. is declining. Researchers made some recommendations on how the government can help to reverse the trend. They include strengthening nutrition support programs for low-income families, maintain good nutrition standards in school meals, and ensure that students get at least an hour of physical activity at school every day. For today's Health Minute, I'm Andrea Vasquez.
We've been lucky with the rain we've received. I wonder if the rest of the country has.
I do too, and Jackie is next to tell us if they have.
Well, you guys, thanks to tropical moisture moving north, most of Texas is going to be impacted with plenty of showers tonight. Now, the lighter green area is going to see around 1 to 3 inches of rain, but the darker area right here, they're expecting up to 6 inches of rain, and that includes Austin, San Antonio, and College Station. Now, in our next map, taking a look in the northeastern part of the U.S., they're looking at a storm threat right now. Going into the weekend, now they are going to be expecting travel delays, heavy rain, strong winds, and snow as well. Now, areas impacted by this are going to be New York, D.C., Boston, and Buffalo. So it is going to be a chilly weekend up there in the northeastern part of the U.S. Now, speaking of Boston, taking a look at our next map, we are going to be looking at the World Series weather. It is going to be a chilly night for those baseball fans up there at Fenway Park. Temperatures are going to be sticking around the mid-30s, and chilly gusts are going to be traveling up to 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now that's all I have for your national forecast. We'll take a quick break and I'll be back with your New Mexico weather.
Here and Now, NPR News middays, weekday afternoons from noon to 2 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
Next time on A Chef's Life.
This is a persimmon. I just picked these, but I'm taking some of them to Atlanta.
My event at Gun Show is much different.
When you add in the mix, then taking your food to the dining room and talking to every single guest, they're gonna love you.
Saturday morning at 10:30 on KRWG Public Media.
Coming up on Austin City Limits.
Saturday at 9 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at your current conditions here in New Mexico. Now, Farmington, cool, 58 degrees. Santa Fe, even cooler, 47 degrees. Albuquerque, 58. Clovis, 48. Ruidoso, 50. And Deming at 64 degrees. Now, taking a look for tomorrow, it is chillier up in the north. Farmington 66 degrees, Santa Fe 54, Albuquerque 67, warming up down here in the south, 70 for Las Cruces and 70 for Deming as well. Now taking a look at sister cities near our area, clear skies tonight for Alamogordo, 50 degrees for your low tonight. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies with a high of 72 degrees. Now truth or consequences, looking at a chilly night as well, 50 degrees for your low tonight and tomorrow a high of 76 degrees. Now in Silver City, a low of a chilly 45 degrees tomorrow. Not as hot, 69 degrees with partly cloudy skies. And here at home, cool night, 50 degrees for a low tonight, and tomorrow, bright sunny skies with a high of 76 degrees. Now that's all I have for your New Mexico weather. I'll be back later with your 5-day forecast, but right now, back to the desk for more news.
A local horse trainer is heading to international competition soon.
And News 22's Shelby Cap takes us to the ranch where she's doing the last bit of practice.
It's every quarter horse trainer's dream to compete at the World Show in Oklahoma City, an event where the top competitors from around the world compete in one arena. And trainer Katie Reed from Anthony, New Mexico will be riding into that arena in November.
The World Show is the ultimate goal for quarter horse trainers and competitors.
Katie will be taking 2 horses, both of which she trained since they were 3.
Good boy, Marley.
The World Show is a very prestigious event. You have to qualify to be able to show. And Katie worked all year long, earning enough points. And in August, she received her invitation to Oklahoma City.
Feel a lot of pride because you have horses that are capable of making it. We have a lot of pride in Katie because of her capabilities to get them there. I think a horse is only as good as what you make it.
I'm definitely nervous, but excited. And I haven't got to go to a World Show since 2009. And now I'm the trainer, and it's up to me to be able to execute.
Katie trains out of Double T quarter horses in Anthony, New Mexico, where she has been preparing every day as the date for the 2018 World Show approaches. Shelby Cap, News 22.
And Katie will be heading to Oklahoma November 2nd, and you can live stream the event at aqha.com. And the women's soccer team at Centennial has been doing really good.
I heard they're 18-0.
That's right.
Kristen is next to tell us more.
Thanks, Amanda and Kelly. Find out how the men's golf team did at the Pepsi-Cola Classic. We'll be right back with News 22 Sports.
We have a bucket list.
I'll say.
Yes.
It's a bucket list of foods we want to try.
I want to take you for your first slurp of ramen.
Slurp. We love food. We love people.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks beautiful. What can I say? We love to flirt. But we're harmless. Speak for yourself.
Saturday morning at 9:30 on KRWG Public Media.
I'm Rick Steves.
Join me in rugged and beautiful Romania, where after visiting its vibrant capital of Bucharest, we'll head into the mountains of Transylvania. We'll explore fortress churches, the fairy tale castle of a romantic king, and another castle made famous by the real-life Dracula. Finally, we'll head to the remote and remarkably traditional region of Maramuresh.
Saturday at 8 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. It's time to kick it with Kristen. The New Mexico State men's golf team is now taking a few months off after finishing 4th at the Pepsi-Cola Classic. The team wrapped up the two-day 54-hole event with a total score of 875. The tournament was held at the Red Hawk Golf Club. The Aggies finished 4th out of 8 teams. Their next tournament will be the Arizona Intercollegiate, January 28th through the 29th. Megan Hart is the WAC Defensive Player of the Week. This is Hart's first ever WAC Weekly honor. This past week, she led the league with 1.86 blocks per set and also averaged 1.86 digs per set when New Mexico State went 2-0 on the week. Hart is currently ranked 5th in the WAC with 1.05 blocks per set. The Aggie volleyball team will have their next match at home against UT Rio Grande Valley on Saturday at 2 p.m. The Lady Hawks soccer team is having a remarkable season so far and are preparing for the state tournament. Number 5, Felicia Apodaca scored the 4th goal off of a corner kick Monday afternoon. She is one of 6 freshmen for the Lady Hawks. Even though the team is heavy with underclassmen, Coach Alex Reyes says it's still a mature team.
We still have a lot of players that are very young, and they've bought into what we're doing as well. But our leadership, I think that's huge. Our leadership, both on and off the field, our girls do a very good job of that, and we truly are a family. It's a very cohesive group of young ladies.
The Lady Hawks are having their best season in the 6-year history of the program. Last season they went 19-3-1, but this season they're undefeated with a record of 18-0. Senior co-captain Hannah Fresquez says she always thought the team would be good, but didn't expect they would be as good as they are.
It's pretty exciting just seeing how much we've overcome. Like this, I'm a senior this year, and seeing how the program has built from the 4 years. It's exciting seeing where we're going this year.
Junior midfielder and defender Kayla Reynaud didn't expect to be undefeated at this point, but she'll take it.
I'm so excited about where we're going to go and what could happen in the future.
This team has been building over the years. Last season they went to the state semifinals where they lost to Cleveland 3-0. While playing solid games this season, they haven't blown everybody out. They went to double overtime before defeating Cleveland, and they beat Mayfield 2-1 in overtime. Coach Reyes is no stranger to success. In 2005, he took Las Cruces High to an undefeated season and a state championship. And he said, "These girls are every bit as special."
It's the culture that we've brought into this program. It's about self-belief. It's about believing that what you can do on the field.
These girls are something special, and you don't see a team like this come along very often.
Hannah's optimistic they can take it all the way. She says their motivation has been building, and they're looking forward to the next step. The Lady Hawks' next game is on Saturday, and they will be taking on Gadsden for their last regular season game before the state tournament. The first round of the tournament will start on November 2nd. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Jackie will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, an artist that started from the bottom breaks a music record. More on that when News 22 continues.
Trying to remember who we are.
Action.
Sunday at 11 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
On Masterpiece.
How long will we turn a blind eye to the needy?
You have a taking for her, don't you?
Your experience in dealing with unstable patients will prove invaluable.
There's nowhere like London for numbing the senses.
Poldark on Masterpiece.
Sunday at 8 p.m. on KRWG Public Media.
Let's take a look at our top stories. CNN, former presidents, and Secretary Clinton were targets of potential bombs. Law enforcement officials say that all the devices appear to be constructed the same. I took a closer look at the costume designer's process for getting ready for this year's Christmas play. And Jeffrey Hernandez showed us a fun competition from the Country Music Festival, a horseshoe tournament.
Drake broke a musical record set by the Beatles half a century ago. He broke the record for the most top 10s on the Billboard's Hot 100 chart. The song Mia, featuring Bad Bunny, marks Drake's 12th top 10 of this year. The Beatles ranked 11 in their breakout year, 1964. Drake has 32 top 10 songs overall, a record for solo male artist.
I'm more of a Beatles fan, not gonna lie.
I agree.
That's pretty good for him, but I am more of a country girl.
Yeah. So what are the next 5 days looking like?
Well, you guys, I'm super excited. It's going to be nice and warm. I definitely like the warmer temperatures. Temperatures are going to stick around those mid to upper 70s for most of the next 5 days. Nice sunny skies, and those temperatures are sticking around those upper to lower 50s. So it is going to be a nice few days. I'm super excited.
I'm looking forward to it. And don't forget, you can catch all of today's past stories and aired newscasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/KRWG News 22.
And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for show updates and the latest on what the News 22 team is up to. And that's all for News 22 Wednesday. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow night for more news from across the Southwest. I'm Amanda Adame.
I'm Kelly Garcia Moreno.
I'm Jackie Loera. Good night.
Good night.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a este breve informativo de Noticias 22. Francisco Soto, con ustedes. Un hombre se escapó de un vehículo de transporte de prisioneros anoche a las 12 y 10 horas después fue capturado en El Paso. El sujeto de 40 años, Ralph Miera, se escapó de un vehículo de transportación cuando era transportado de Riverside, California, hacia el condado de Pueblo, en Colorado. Miera le quitó un arma a un guardia y ordenó a otro guardia que manejara la camioneta. Él tenía una orden de arresto por robo y por descato al tribunal. La policía supone que Miera robó una camioneta y manejó al Paso, donde fue capturado. Alto al Crimen de las Cruces está ofreciendo una recompensa de hasta $1,000 por información que ayuda a identificar a 2 choferes de auto involucrados en un accidente con un peatón. El choque ocurrió el viernes pasado alrededor de las 5 de la tarde en la avenida El Paseo. La policía dice que un hombre de 67 años iba cruzando la calle cuando fue impactado por 3 vehículos. Uno de los vehículos se detuvo en la escena del accidente. Investigadores creen que el vehículo blanco, posiblemente modelo Ford, y una pickup Ford F-50 de color bajo impactaron al hombre. Si usted tiene información, favor de llamar Alto al Crimen al número que aparece en su pantalla. Para Noticias 22, Francisco Soto.